What's up, guys? This is K&M Live. Today we're going to do a live reaction to the No Fugazi podcast.
Just wanted to say fair use before we get started. Seems like an interesting clip, so we're just gonna check it out and see what's going on.
Light-skinned shorty who is on the end is mumbling and she is very prudish. Okay? Any
I think
response?
he's probably talking to me.
Yeah.
I'm not prudish. All right, you can say whatever. Think what you want about me. It
Okay.
doesn't really make a difference. I've said, obviously, you guys have made your point that you think I'm a prude, but a lot of people do think it's very respectable to have saved yourself for this long. So, I think,
I would
and it's
say-
not like it's not like, I'm disgusting. I don't think I'm disgusting looking. So,
I would say this about, let's just grant it to you. Let's say that it's real, that you truly are a virgin, right? I would say that for you being a virgin,
I could prove it to you.
I got you. Look, I'll say this, because you said that it's respectable. I would say this. For you being a virgin and having sexual temperance, that is very respectable.
It is.
But the fact that you're 34 years old and you're still a virgin and you're unmarried, and you haven't found anyone to commit to you and someone that you want the committance from, that isn't respectable. Because the reason why it's not respectable is because you only got, 80% of your eggs are already gone? Gone.
Yeah.
So you say that,
He's speaking on the fact that they lose 80% of their eggs by 30 because of their what's it called? What's the term? You know the term.
Geriatric pregnancy.
Geriatric, yeah. So that's what he's referring to.
you holding on to your value, but your value, and you are holding on it from a sexual standpoint. Yes, you're a virgin. No one clap cheeks. That's good, right? I'm not I'm not trying to promote for you to be having your cheeks clapped. No, keep it unclapped. No applause, right? Keep it unclapped. But the not respectable part is that you should have found the man, and you should be, and you believe in, you're Catholic, as you said. You know that you're put on this planet to procreate and to be by a man's side, and you know that a woman's place is by a man's side. You know these things.
Why are you pretending like I'm unmarried by choice?
So you're saying that you're unmarried not by choice?
Yeah, I would love more than anything to have already been married and have 5 kids.
Got you. Well, that's the thing. So something must be missing. So,
I don't know. I don't think it's me.
and it kind of goes like this. Here's some game, right? Because I like to give ladies game when these conversations get a little bit touchy-feely, right? So you're picky. Granted, I know you're picky. Obviously, you don't want guys that's 5'8". You're talking about his
Okay, I'm
height. So
a little
therefore,
picky, a little bit, not that picky, because if you
That
see my
is
exes,
A little
you'd be
bit?
like, I don't
It's an
get it.
understatement.
but
All right.
I know that you're picky because you haven't had sex yet, which is good. That means that your morals is high. You have great qualities about your character. You got kudos to you, right? And I have an aunt. She's gonna die a virgin. She's like 68 or something like that.
That's going to be you.
Yeah, probably will, but hopefully not, right? Hopefully you can find a man. So here's some game.
At 60, dog? Come on now.
60, man. Hey, they're very picky. I say people are very like. I mean, the women you come across, like some of them can be very picky, and which is cool. The fact that I guess they're trying to make sure they make a right decision, but sometimes wait too long for the perfect thing, you end up keep waiting forever. So, that's just something they're just gonna have to live with if they're going out that long without being in a committed relationship like that. That's what go for man and woman. It's just how it is.
That sounds pretty insane to me.
To you, right? So women, what they do is they advertise themselves to attract qualified mates to them, right? So the fact that you didn't meet, the fact that you want a relationship and you want marriage with a man, but you haven't found a man that you would want a relationship from, means that you're not attracting the men that you truly want and desire. Make sense?
Say that, yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I'm saying that you want to look at it from that standpoint because men pitch themselves. For example, let's say hypothetical. Let's say if he's having a problem getting girls, well, I'm saying like, okay, you need to work on your approach since men are the ones that slide in DMs. Men are the ones that normally approach women and walk up to them. Well, maybe you need to work on your confidence, get in the gym and accomplish some goals so you can become more confident and more competent and everything can just work better for you. Because since you have to approach girls, he needs to work on himself. We would all say that, right? If he couldn't attract girls.
Yeah, sure.
We got to say the same thing if the woman can't advertise herself in a way to attract the men that she wants. So that means that you got to work on self, right?
So what would you suggest?
One first suggestion, like what she does, she said that she's a bodybuilder. She's always in the gym. First thing, you got to get in the gym because from a man's point of view, beauty is your most valuable agency.
I will say attractiveness
when it comes-
is not my problem.
Well, I'll tell you. I'll
She's not bad
truthfully
looking,
tell
but
you.
You never know. It could be
Sure,
three.
go ahead.
I know what you're saying about
Yeah.
the gym because, like, you know, men want a woman that will want to keep themselves clean, keep themselves healthy, you know, want to work on themselves.
Yeah.
I just want to say that.
Being
Wait, that's all you
You
had?
can pause it real
Oh,
quick.
I
you
just
saying
wanted to
I've seen girls her size that's able to find a man, so it probably just depends on what type of guy, and it could probably you could factor in his occupation as well, because we all seen the big girls got somebody with them. It just I guess it's the caliber of the big guy or whatever his status is, or if he got money or something, or maybe his personality.
Or that's if she wants a big guy. She may want a guy that's in shape and everything else, but you gotta look in the mirror. You can't just expect a guy who got a 6-pack, 8-pack, you know what I'm saying, super muscular. You can't expect the same results as a girl who's 5'2" and big booty and in shape. You can't expect to get the same results as that girl because you gotta think she takes care of herself, so does he. So it's an equal match. If you over here, you know, on the big side, you gotta be, if you do get a guy like that, be thankful. But it's not realistic though. And I feel like this is where the conversation gets diluted because they think they come as good as they are. And and I get it. People should accept you for who you are, whether you're big or small. But if we're talking about dating, this is where the conversation gets diluted.
just say
So, and this is what I'm saying.
The
Go
part
ahead.
about being attractive is just that's not my issue.
I'm not saying that.
Well, I'm just saying that I, you know, I've never had a problem with, you know, someone telling me, well, if you looked this way, then I would be more attracted to you.
I'm not saying that. I'll break it down in a way where you can.
And the problem, the only reason why they haven't is because they're probably scared to tell you. That's another thing. You like just because some dude never said it to your face don't mean that they wasn't thinking it. It's just that they may be too scared to say it. A lot of dudes, we don't want to offend, you know, we got our culture where we're very sensitive, snowflake generation. We don't want to offend people like that, but we definitely might be thinking it for sure. That's where he's trying to go into and explaining it. I'm see what's going on here.
Could truly understand. Let's just speak about men first, right? So men, we are born without any sexual, we're not born with any sexual value. We have zero sexual value when we're born. Just like she said, she broke up with her guy because, yeah, he was maybe cute, but he was inadequate. He didn't have any motivation or ambition, so he wasn't really making money. He had none of that manly, you know, oomph in him. So she was like, yeah, I got rid of him.
He was 15.
But they started when they were young, but it
Yeah,
ended when I was 18 or 17.
I was 18, he was 16, turning 17.
Super young. So
Yeah.
even at that super young age, women still look for certain things. They know it's embedded in you. It's in your nature. You want a man that's doing better than you, like the 4 things we said. So since a man is born without any sexual value, he has to go out there and create his sexual value. It's up to a woman, she's born with her sexual value. It's up to her to preserve her sexual value. Now, you preserved your sexual value as far as not having sex. But as far as preserving your sexual value, as far as what are men attracted to sexually, well, we're attracted to women that are fully in shape. We like the Coke figure, small waist, wide hips, or if it ain't small waist, if it ain't wide hips, it's just like some type of curvature there, but it needs to be thin and healthy. That's what men are generally attracted to.
Pause it real
Supermodels,
quick.
thinner women, they get.
I guess
get more options. More thicker women, they get less options. You got to think about it. The thicker the woman is, she's getting less options. Well, why is she getting less options though, too?
I think this is, you're trying to say that a person, it's not completely just based on an initial attraction. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that, because a lot of it is based on initial attraction, because I can walk into a room and I can walk on.
Yeah, we know you're not that. We know. You just want to sugarcoat it, but we know.
I can be on a date with somebody, and if I'm not attracted to them when I first look at the way they walk or their hands or the way that they walk into a room, my opinion's probably not going to change.
I got you. And I'm also saying this, though.
But,
go ahead,
I just want to finish my point.
Sure.
But it's like, I get what you're saying to a certain degree, but also you can't put all your eggs in that basket, because that's not really, that's
the only basket you have.
Yes, but I've gone on a
Let me
lot of
repeat that
dates,
again.
all
Look,
right?
so look.
It's not the only basket I have.
I'll repeat it again.
It's
It
just
truly
not.
is. Look,
It's the only basket that
No,
matters
it's
to
not,
men.
because I can confidently tell you.
like he just said, real quick, just listen real quick. I'll say it one more time concisely. It's the only box that matters. That's the only basket that matters to men. So men, we have a lot of boxes that we can elevate in, because women are attracted to a multitude of things. You like him tall, strong, masculine, dominant, assertive. You like him good looking, smelling good,
Dress nice.
being able to convey himself and hold the conversation and make you feel the vibes. So a man can, if he's not doesn't meet the height requirement, well, he can elevate by going to the gym, getting a better physical structure. He can elevate by talking to more girls and building up that confidence and learning ways to convey himself to a woman to make her feel all bubbly and giggly. So he can elevate on different levels. But that's because women are complex creatures, because they're attracted to so many things, which means that we can upgrade on many different things. But what are men attracted to? Only your looks. Only your looks. So that means that that's your only basket. That's the only elevation. You probably never heard the truth, but this podcast no fugazi, so we got to keep it real. So I'm telling you, please just take it. I'm telling you this. If you work on that, you will attract more mates. Now, it may not, of course, there's going to be more mates, and there may be guys that you really don't want, but still it's going to be more. You'll have different guys to then choose from, and it may be the guy of your dreams.
I can't get on that train, because you're trying.
Well, if you don't want to get on that train, I'm not telling you anything. You look fine. You're 34 years old. You're light skinned. You got long hair. I'm sure guys are attracted to you physically. But I'm telling you, but that's the only thing you can elevate. That's the only thing you can elevate.
Give me a second.
Oh,
That's okay.
do you want a hug?
Take your time. It's fine.
Why would she say that?
No, he's just.
Hey,
he's
Go make her more.
basically just
Why would she say that?
Sysaid co-pilot.
In a man's eyes, your value is tied to your beauty.
I have no value because I'm not her size.
I
No, he's
didn't
not
tell you
saying
that.
that.
That
No,
is exactly what you're saying. That's
didn't.
exactly what you're saying, because you're trying to say that I'm not. I can't attract the right man because I'm not small enough.
no, he's saying what he's saying.
That's exactly what he's saying.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about this, man. You could tell nobody ever really told her the truth growing up. You could tell, because why would you react like that when he's simply saying, like, look, you were, because we could go back in the clip, y'all. Wasn't she laughing when he said, hey, you wouldn't want a man who's 5'8"? And she was laughing with the other girls, right? So it was funny when something a man can't control. It was funny then, but your weight and what you put in your mouth and how big you are, you can't control. And this is a fat man talking to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm big, so I know I was small before and I got big, and now I'm working to get back small again. But the thing about it is that stuff is more important for the woman than it is the man. So it's just like, you can't be crying at the fact that he's simply telling you this is how it is. If you want to play in the game, you have to be a qualified player. You're not qualified to play in the game for the type of dudes you're probably trying to reach for. Now, I don't know this whole podcast. We didn't watch the whole thing. We don't know everything. We're just watching the clips that were recommended to us, and we're just reviewing it. But I can tell just from the context of the conversation that she probably had a higher standard for the man than she did for herself. You can't have these high standards for the man and not hold yourself to the same standard. That's hypocritical because we're no longer we're equal, right? Equal generation, right? So there's that point, but I didn't expect her to start crying though. That's pretty crazy.
He's saying
I can tell her what I'm
that
saying.
without-
Let me just tell
That's
you.
what you said. You
Let me
said
just
my
tell you what I'm
looks are
saying.
I would
everything.
let her explain it from
My
her
looks
point
are
of view.
everything, right? So they're the only thing that matters, right?
That isn't what I said.
They're the thing that matters first and foremost
That isn't what I said.
for men.
But
Right.
but
That's
that
right.
isn't. I'm speaking specifically to a certain thing, right? So I said that women advertise themselves. Women don't normally walk up to men, to lots of men, and approach them. You don't walk up to every guy you see that's attractive and approach them. The man, and not only that, you would respect it more if a man would approach you. So men approach and women advertise themselves. So from that
He's correct.
standpoint, since you're not
Now
meeting,
you do have the rare cases where the woman will approach the guy, but that's very rare. And a lot of guys usually they take it or leave it, but yeah, it's rare. Most of the time it's us going up saying, "Hey shawty, what's your name?" You know what I'm saying? Type.
certain guys, right? So let me finish. Since you're not attracting certain guys that meets your qualifications, that you would want to even have them guys get down on one knee to marry you, if you're not meeting those guys, that means that you need to change something about yourself. That's what I'm saying.
Right. So the one thing that I need to change, you're saying, is just to lose weight.
I'm saying the one thing you need to change is to lose weight and to get in the gym, and you will become more attractive to more men.
it's
But why do I
It's
need to
based
be-
off of beauty.
But that's never been an
Yeah,
issue for
but
me.
big is still beautiful.
But what I'm telling you, it is.
See, those chicks right there, you gotta be careful with them saying big is beautiful while she's here slim and everything. Like
Like,
you need to
so
chill.
what-
She's basically, her, I guess indirectly, that's her, in a sense, of her competition. But it's like at the same time, it's like I guess you're trying to make her feel validated in a way of how she looks, but at the same time, it's just nah. I wouldn't be saying that to her.
It's just like it's really like it's kind of like an echo chamber type of deal. It's like, oh, if the other ones tell me it's okay, then it's okay. It's like that's not how it works. Like you see the other people in there. If I'm in a room full of basketball players and I want to be a basketball player, I'm gonna look around and be like, how do I compete to these guys? Now I know they're gonna be like, well, that's two different topics, but it's the same thing. You see you're in a room full of women that's in shape. And obviously they probably have no problems with dudes approaching them. We're not talking about face, and that's a different conversation. We're talking about just off body alone. We can already tell who's gonna get picked just off looking without them even opening their mouth. So she does have an attractive face. She has a pretty face, but she's big. And I'm just like, for all the chicks out here that have that kind of expectation, I'm not saying you won't find a guy that's like that, but you know what I'm saying? You got to be realistic. You got to be like, you can't expect the best results with no effort. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell these chicks, they put in effort to their appearance. You don't. You clearly, yeah, you got good clothing style, but other than that, but you're saying you ain't been approached, you've been avert. Like none of that stuff really matters. The box still has to be good. The item itself that men are looking for still has to, look good, whatever he deems as that. And if you were that, you would be getting a whole bunch of guys doing all that. But hey guys, I think we've gone into this video pretty far. We're gonna put the link into the
We can keep going further.
you want to keep going?
Yeah. We can,
Okay.
I can just edit some of the stuff out.
Okay, cool.
I don't want a man who's only going to judge me based on my size.
That's the way
Can I say
We don't want a
something?
man. Look. You just called him short. We don't want a woman that's only gonna base us based off our height. I'm 6'4", he's 5'8". But you said that he's disqualified because he's
But I
5'8".
didn't judge his character.
But okay, but you judge his height and he doesn't
Yeah,
qualify for you.
You
Okay.
automatically put him down as a deficit. That means no matter what his character is, you judged him just off height alone. You basically said he's less than in your mind. You're like, okay, if there was two good-looking guys, him included, if he was short, he would not be the first guy you'd look at. You just admitted that. So you can't say, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. It don't matter what his character is. You've already used that as a minus. It's already a minus in your mind, automatically off attraction points. It's already a minus. So it's the same way if you're big, it's a minus for the guy. If he's looking at a room full of skinny women, he sees you, it's a minus. Now, you may have better character than all the girls in that room, but just looking, that's what got you minus.
Hey, but that's not.
And we're saying, but look, time out. The same way he doesn't qualify for you, with your figure, a lot of guys you won't qualify for.
Correct.
And that's what you have to realize.
But me as a person, I'm not going to qualify for a lot of guys because that's life.
You as a
Can I say
person, you're
something?
great. Let's just say you're a virgin. No, let's just say you're a virgin.
And
Let's
all
just
you've
grant
done
it
is
to
call me
you.
names.
No, we didn't call you any names. I didn't call you any names.
No, can I?
I didn't call you any names. And real quick, you as a person, you have, let's just say you're a virgin. Let's say I believe it. You have sexual temperance.
Why would I lie
You
about
have
that?
that means that you have all these characteristic traits in you that is very good. You're a person of high moral character. That's beautiful. What's on the inside is beautiful. But remember, you advertise yourself in men approach. So you want to display a beautiful outside. Just how beautiful you are on the inside, you want to display the outside. I'm not saying that you're not beautiful. I'm just saying that you can elevate yourself more.
He is
Correct.
saying be what you want to attract.
Exactly.
Correct.
He's saying that you have to lose. He's not saying that.
If you want to be the best player in your sport, you have to practice. You can't just rely on just your talent. You can't rely on just thinking you're just gonna go in the game and beat up everybody and you don't have no skills. You're not even good at the game. You're not even good at whatever it is you're doing. It's the same thing with attraction. If you want to get the best possible options, since she is looking at it from a superficial standpoint, because like she's saying, okay, she may take a short guy, but the only reason why she would do it is because of his character. But initial attraction, let's say he had a bad character. You would not have wanted him had he had been short. Now, let's say he's tall or he has another trait that you feel like is more appealing, but he still has bad character. You may overlook the bad character just because of the physical, just because of physically what you like.
tall, and we're old heads. We're old heads. This is just a fact. I'm almost 40 and I have never been married. And I'm not fine with it, but what are you going to do? So like for me, one of the things in being Hispanic and my grandma, mommy getting on me is, why are you not married? You're so pretty, mommy, because there's not really, men don't want to commit and they want girlfriend benefits without the commitment. And I'm doing that.
At the end of the day, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
I played house for 10 years. So it doesn't
have anything to do with
but
what I
no,
look
no,
like.
but what he's saying is, and this is something that I understand exactly what they're saying. Because if I want to attract a man with money and all of that stuff, then I have to present myself as such. So like I'm almost 40. I can't compete with an 18-year-old. She could be my daughter. My daughter's 19. I can't compete with that. And I'm not. I cannot bear children. I can't have children. So men my age, they're going to look at that.
You got to be like, listen, little homie, I get a
what?
guac 3,000
What else
on
can I
deck.
offer? You know what I'm saying? I take care of, I'm petite, I don't work out, but you know what? I should work out. Why? Because I'm at that premenopausal stage in my life where I can gain weight. So taking care of myself physically will not only help me physically, emotionally, and mentally, right?
100%.
So it's not
Yes.
putting you down. It's
I'm
put
uplifting
out
you.
what you want.
No,
to
that's
I
not
am.
It's not uplifting at all.
I gotta be honest.
truth is
you did it,
uplifting.
but
You
you,
know
did it
it.
wrong.
That's not the truth.
Because as women, they're emotional.
Okay.
Men are logical.
No, it's how he said it.
Yeah.
It's a
So,
delivery, right?
Let me-
But not even. It's,
Okay,
it's,
go sure.
it's not even.
But it was
yeah,
not
a lot of it is how you said it. Sure.
It's a delivery.
But it's not a. But it's not a. And you know that from speaking to women obviously are emotional and men are pretend not to be.
But we're emotional.
Oh my
Less
God.
neurotic, meaning that we feel less negative emotions than
This is
women.
crazy, bro.
I know you just pretend not to.
Bree, she got it, Bree.
That's why I was like my.
Yeah, he wasn't putting
Whatever.
you down, girlfriend. No.
No, but like-
Yeah, just
So-
be what
he
you want
was.
to.
He
I'll
was.
speak-
And see, that's the thing, man. It's like we always have to soften the blow. We always have to re-explain ourselves as dudes when we're trying to explain stuff, it's like, just accept what it is. Like, he's speaking from the standpoint of view, if you're a certain type of dude looking for a certain type of chick, you probably wouldn't be, up to par.
You're not qualified.
shout out to Aaron the plumber. But my thing is that, like, it's crazy how we gotta like apologize for saying certain things, and yet I've been in situations where she straight up told me, you ain't this, you ain't that. And I could have told her to rephrase it, but why? She said it off her chest exactly how she felt. So I just think it's not right that dudes always have to re-explain themselves and have to soften what they said, because it's what was said is said. You got to accept it. Like, just because you didn't like it, that don't mean that if there's truth in it, take it. If there's no truth in it, then ignore it and then leave it be. But obviously it affected you because you felt some type of way about it,
Speak for myself. I wasn't. Let me just speak for myself.
Okay.
Well, one, when it comes to, how things are said and what is said, you're a woman of faith. Obviously, you're a virgin. You're a 34 virgin. When Jesus, you believe in Jesus. When Jesus was here, when Jesus came to earth, and he was speaking to people and delivering people from evil and saving people and doing all of these miracles, did he curve the way he said something?
No.
Let me finish. Jesus spoke the truth, and sometimes the truth, people can't handle the truth. Sometimes the truth hurts. So I'm just speaking the truth to you. It doesn't matter if I try to coddle it, it won't make a change.
No one said coddle, but there's things, prudence.
You could say prudence, right? And maybe you feel
we're using these PC words, man. We're using euphemisms to to block out the clear cut throat of what men feel, how they express themselves.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about that? Let's say he did use prudence. Let's say he did use a different vocabulary or soften it up in a way that you couldn't realize he was saying, hey, you're big, you need to lose weight, right? You would have twisted it in your mind and would have thought, oh, maybe he's just saying I got to do better makeup. Maybe he's saying you'll do everything else but to solve the issue, except the issue itself. And I remember a guy said this a while back. A lot of people know what their issue is, but they do everything else around it, then try to solve the one issue that they know they need to solve, but they don't do it. So it don't matter how he said it. You probably would have reinterpreted it a different way in your own head, and you would have assumed that he may be talking about something else, and that's where it would have got the point confused.
That I'm coming at you a certain way because you know that it's truthful.
But no.
It has to be true if you got emotional from it.
I'm upset because
you know it's the truth.
No.
Correct.
Maybe
Is it an
Why?
insecurity? Could it be an insecurity that you have suppressed? Because a lot of times women, we suppress things, right? And especially at our age, because people do look at us, well, they're single, they're not married, and I admire your discipline. And can I just say something really quick, just
Sure.
to be an encouragement? I had a client, she is Egyptian, 34-year-old virgin. She's Muslim, and I was doing her Brazilian waxing before her wedding. And she was like, Denise, I'm so nervous. And she lost her virginity at her wedding night. She got married January, and her husband bought her a house and the furniture, and at 34 years old, and she waited for the right man. Don't wait for the right man. Be the right woman so that you can attract the right man for you.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
That's what we were
So
saying.
there's hope for you.
Yeah.
I
There's
don't think
hope
this.
for us.
Okay, I don't want to sound conceited because I'm not conceited, and I know there's always room for improvement. But at the same time, like no, I'm not perfect, and yes, I can get better in certain areas.
Okay.
We all can.
And
I'll put it like this, as another word of encouragement to her. Okay, the same way that you feel right now and the way that you did on this podcast, have that same compassion when a guy approaches you at, let's say, Whole Foods. Let's say you go to Whole Foods probably, and he may not be up to par with his looks. On your mind, you're not saying it out loud, but in your mind, you're like, man, I would never date this guy. just off looking at him. But he's a kind guy. He's kind to you. He's respectful to you. He treats you right. So have that same compassion. If you, let's say you don't want to lose weight. Let's say you want to stay the way you are now, just dress better and just whatever. Have that same compassion when you meet a guy you may think wouldn't be worth it to you physically, but then as you get to know him, you're like, oh, wow, this is the guy for me. So, because I get it. Because I will say this. At the end of the day, you could be in shape, but different things can happen in life where you may not be able to work out as much. You may not. That's the whole point of marriage, right? We're supposed to stick it out together through thick and thin. And I'm just saying, when you meet a guy like that, have that same compassion and understanding and overlook that and accept that may be a part of him, but he still has everything else you'd want. At that point, then I can respect the way that you look at things. But if you still think you deserve 6'5", Tony, got the tats and, got the packs and that, just know if you try to get a guy like that and he treats you back or whatever the case is, you can't be mad at anybody but yourself, because you have super high standards and then you don't want to live up to those standards. So that means you got to go down. That's the only way. It only goes down from there. So that means you got to deal with somebody that actually may be on your level, but in your mind you may not think. But if us as strangers were looking from the outside in, I'd be like, that's a good match for her. He's a little big, she's a little big. They ain't too big. Hey, let's be big together. If she could look at it from that perspective, then hey, there's no issues. But the problem is that they be having these issues, but then try to judge the guy for having issues too. And it's like, well, how are you going to judge him? But yet you got issues going on as well. So you got to be more accepting of that. But yeah, you got anything on that?
I mean, through and through, everybody is going to have to come to a realization that the choices that we'll make, whether we want to complete them or run away from them, at the end result, we got to be okay how our fate or our results of our actions is going to end up being, how our future is going to be. So whether or not you want to stray in the path of changing yourself or being complacent, that's a choice you're going to have to live with, regardless of the good or bad the outcome is going to be. You could probably be the same and have a good result. Like other people do, and in some cases it does work. But if you're still having the same issue and not willing to change, then that's something you're gonna have to live with too, good or bad. So that's just something everybody has to deal with at some point in their life.
Agreed. Definitely agree. Shall we continue?
Can't deny that. However, I think that more percentage of a larger percentage of the time, not the problem.
Okay, well, I think that is the problem.
It has to do with, my situation. A lot of men just don't
want to wait.
Let me ask you a question.
Exactly, and that's the
Let me
problem.
ask you a question.
And that's why I took such offense into what you said, because it's sure I can get better, but
They don't want to wait.
yeah.
Let me ask you a question. So
But that's the thing. He was just given like because you were saying your issue's not with you, but yet again, the guys who don't want to wait, I want you to think about this. The guys who look at you, they probably think you're easy, just off looking at you, not because you just show the behavior, but it's that us as speaking as a big person myself, we tend to have low self-esteem. That's what society perceives. That we just perceives. That may not be who you are on the inside, but a lot of us are perceived to have low self-esteem. So we're easy targets for, sexual deviancy behaviors and stuff like that. So those guys probably approach you with ill intent anyway. But let's say you were smaller, not saying that it won't be the same, but it could be a little bit different though, because that guy probably holds himself to a higher standard and then he sees you doing the same. So he may not be as impatient as a guy who's just trying to get it and go from you. You know what I'm saying? So there's that component to it.
you said that you're taking offense to what I'm saying. Okay. What I'm saying, how can you take offense to someone that is telling you that you can elevate in certain areas?
Because you could have said that.
I literally said that. I said there's many different men,
He
and I
did-
broke
he
it down. I
did
said
say
men has to elevate. He's 5'8", so that means that he's got muscles. He had to get in the gym, or he would have been a skinny 5'8" dude.
But
And I
this
was-
He wouldn't get no cheeks.
But that
No
was.
cheeks.
But that was.
But no, listen, that's what I'm saying.
That was already 10
Let me
minutes of the
finish.
discussion.
No, that did. I had to talk about men first before I even spoke about women, because I spoke about women in general. Then I spoke about you specifically. But when I spoke about men, so you can understand that we all have to elevate, right? But it just so happens to be that men were simple creatures. We fall in love with our eyes, right? Women fall in love with their ears, so a man can display other characters. He could elevate in other areas just because you're complex creatures. You like so many different things in guys, but we only like really one thing in a woman.
That's
when it comes
looks.
to attraction, that's looks. So I'm saying that I'm looking at you and I'm saying, you know what? You could hit the gym.
Can I say something?
That's a positive thing. But now let's reverse it. Let me get your answer real quick. If a man was at home in his mom's basement, 34 years old, he had no job, and he was eating cereal all day
What
and
kind of
playing
cereal?
video games. Fruity Pebbles, of course.
Right.
And sometimes
Like,
Fruit
it's
Loops.
extreme example.
Yeah, Fruit Loops.
I don't know.
Let's get
Like I don't like. She said like he worked at He's a manager at Home Depot. Like he's fine being where he's at. Something like that. Not like he lived in his mama's basement.
Bro,
That's like the low end.
These be the most
extreme.
crazy examples ever. Why is it so specific? Why he eating only cereal? Like, I don't even think you could live like that, yo. What? Eating just cereal?
this nigga,
That
Lucky
sounds
Charms.
crazy.
Okay.
He's Lucky Charms back.
Cereal
So
diet.
he ate cereal. No motivation, but he said,
Now, what type of cereal though? I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So
I want a bad chick. I deserve a bad chick. What would you say to that man that's in his mom's basement, 34 years old, with no job, playing video games and eating cereal?
No car,
Wouldn't
no
you
license.
say-
he got it.
Would you say
Cereal.
that man has to self-improve
Can he not have
in a lot of
PB&J
areas?
sandwich?
Got it. Now look at you. 34-year-old virgin, never been married, never met a man that you even wanted to marry.
That's not true.
But you met the man that you wanted to marry, but he didn't get on one knee. So that means that you couldn't lock the man down even when you met him. So that means that, well,
I
we
don't
look
think
at
that
it.
has anything to do with me.
Listen, we look at it. Women grant sex, men grant relationships. If the man didn't grant you the relationship from the only man that you wanted, well, that means that you need to improve on something.
Can I say?
I just don't.
You have to take accountability.
I take accountability,
But you're
I
not.
don't-
You're
but-
running from the accountability.
No, I'm not. I'm not running from the accountability.
Well,
I'm
I just
saying
wanted
that
to say-
I'm trying to say that every situation is not the same.
I know it's not, but just like you would see that 34-year-old man that's a virgin living in his mom's basement, but claiming he wants a bad chick.
One area of my life.
Well, that's the area that men are attracted to.
He's broke. He doesn't have a job. He's
We don't
living in
care.
his
Men
mom's
don't care
basement.
about a.
Like that's a
I know, but
compounded
listen,
situation.
Men don't care about women's money. Men don't care about women's competence. Men don't care about women's money. We don't care about women's competence. We don't care about women's height. We don't care about all the things that you care about in a man. Attraction isn't symmetrical, it's asymmetrical. So you became the man that you want. You got a good job, you're doing things and all these type of things, but you became the man that you want. So all these other guys that you're meeting, they don't qualify for you. But the only guy that did meet your standards, guess what? You didn't qualify for him. So we're just saying that you can elevate on the beauty aspect because we're simple. We want cheeks. We want the waist to be blickety blow. That's just what we want.
Can
I just want to say
say-
something quick. Hold on. I just wanted to say that
You go next. I got
I
you.
really wasn't offended. Like, you gotta understand, I'm a black man, so I get judged every day because I'm black with tattoos. They think I'm dumb. I had girls say, "Oh, you're cute for a black guy." Oh, you're
that's
short.
crazy. Yeah,
I'm sorry,
that's
if you were
offensive
6 foot
to
and
me.
up, then
What's
hold
black,
on.
huh?
But like, I'm confident in myself, and what I do understand is everybody has a type, and I know that I'm not everybody's type, and I'm okay with that because I've met so many women that I'm everything they want. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure there's guys that will accept you just the way you are, but most guys like women fit. You know what I'm saying? In shape. You know what I mean? I can't point out a body part, but
I'll be honest.
I know a lot of guys that would not look at you.
You light skin with the long hair, if you had the body, you'll be fine. Let's just be honest.
But
But
yeah,
go
in
ahead.
general, just want to say that.
Speaking
I
facts.
have a question for you men.
Sure.
Now, I don't really know how old you guys are, but if you
35, 34.
Okay.
I'm 34.
Damn.
So if you guys met someone, they don't have to be like in like the same age as you or anything
Yeah.
like that. But if you guys met a woman and she was deciding to make the same commitment that this beautiful woman right here has been choosing to make, to stay a virgin and, you know, really find the right man, like, would you guys even consider trying to like talk and pursue something with someone?
Go ahead. You're
You
fine.
know, would you guys try to pursue and talk to somebody who is willing to wait that long?
Oh,
or would
like
you?
her?
Yeah, like how do you
Wait,
guys think
34
about?
years?
Well, let's say you met her, you know,
When she was
not
younger.
34 years ago. Let's say you met her when you guys were 20, 25. Like, would you guys even
Oh, I
consider
see what
giving
you're
her a
saying.
chance?
Yeah, like,
you know, like maybe you
would
guys
we
can
get
wait.
with the chick that was waiting for marriage?
Yes.
I would say if that girl is a virgin, that's a great thing. Yeah, like if.
But is
well,
it like
Wayne-
something that you guys aren't willing to really wait for because you're so addicted to, you know?
No, I mean, ease. You would wait for a chick if she was a virgin
Yeah, if
and
the-
she was bad. Your type.
If I met a chick that was a virgin, that was my type, and she said that I'm not gonna have sex until we got married, and especially if she likes me and she doesn't height shame me, yeah, I would marry her. To be honest with you, I would like to get married, but I'm scared to get married because a lot of marriages end, and usually it's the women that are divorcing men. So I'm actually scared to get married, but I would love to get married and live happily ever after. But it's just not the way it is. But to answer your question, yes.
And
I met a
generally,
girl-
I would say most men will, because men, we seek out purity. So like, why do you think that, like, think about what marriage is. Marriage, why the woman walks down the aisle with a white dress, because that represents virginity, purity, right?
Yeah.
So if a man is going to be marrying a woman, and you got to think about it from like hundreds of years ago, the family or the father gave his daughter to another family son that was they respected that family, and that man had a good future for him, and he could provide a good future for his daughter. So it's like, oh, I have a virgin for you, and your son can have this virgin. Now let's trade and make deals. That's kind of how they did things, because the virginity in a woman is very valuable. So it's good that she held on. Like I said, it's respectable, but for 34 years, it isn't respectable because you're doing something wrong. You can't attract the man and retain the man that you want. So obviously you're lacking in certain traits, and which is okay. You know what I'm saying? That's totally fine. She should click the link in my bio. I do coaching. I help her out. She'd be good. But anyway.
She went to the bathroom. They had to edit that or something. She went to the bathroom and ran.
Anyways, any other questions on this topic?
She may have just left.
I know you wanted to say a few things, so right?
It's interesting. I feel like everyone has an interesting perspective, and I feel like I understand where she's coming from. Like, it's a sensitive topic. Like, before I even got into bodybuilding, I was heavier before I got into the gym. But if I didn't take that moment to self-reflect and realize that I needed to work on myself and feel better about myself, I was never going to like attract good, positive, vibes in my life.
Yeah.
But like, you just, whatever
You
you're...
attract the bottom feeders.
Exactly.
Like, you attract the dudes that can't get any
and
girls.
Taryn's great, and she's over here saying that she wants, someone who's tall, handsome, wealthy, and everything.
But then what does that man get in return? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sharon, you good? You coming back on, or you gonna leave?
Yeah, I just need to not look like this.
Okay, got you. No worries. Take your time.
Still here.
Oh wait, no, I thought she said she's leaving.
No, but I definitely understand, like, when I was heavier and not really working on myself at a point in my life,
Yeah.
it's not like I was getting all this attention. Obviously, now that I work on myself,
You see the
I'm-
attention.
and
And
I
the quality of guys are better.
yeah, that's correct.
Exactly.
It's a thing. And also with me, like, working on myself, actively working on like being a healthier, like the healthiest version of myself.
Feel better.
I feel better.
Yeah.
I look better, and I'm obviously attracting better. It's just, it's
Yeah.
all in what you're putting out is what you attract.
Bree, you was gonna say something, right?
Well, I was just gonna say I relate to you because I said I used to be bigger. Now that I've lost weight and I've focused on my body and I eat better,
she was bigger,
people really do come
lost
around.
weight?
Like, it actually made me really sad because I was like, wow, But I also did attract different people when I was bigger as well. I feel like a lot of the people that I attracted when I was bigger were genuinely there for my personality, 100%. Like they really accepted and loved me.
Real quick before you get to that, and I just want to finish this topic real quick. Chat, just pay attention to what just transpired. It's funny because before the podcast started, you was here the last time someone cried. Yeah. And you said that, I hope no one cries this time. And then you even said that, I don't think anyone is going to cry. I said, nah, probably will. Who knows when the conversation gets going. And it's funny how these two young ladies, you're 19, how old are you?
23.
23. You lost 30 pounds.
50.
50 pounds.
I used to be 186. I'm now less than 140.
That's amazing. Right. And you said that you were on a journey as well.
Yeah.
And both of you ladies are in shape because you went from somewhere and then you lost weight. And you confirmed that, one, most importantly, I felt better about myself.
Right.
What secondly is I feel the thing is I'm healthier, truthfully. And then the third thing is I was able to attract more quality men. And that's exactly what I told her, but she couldn't understand that. And you two are prime examples of it. Like you literally switched.
Well, another thing I will say about this topic, the reason why it's sensitive is because, yes, it could be attributed to laziness and not wanting to go to the gym and not wanting to work out. But at the same time, she probably felt like, so you're not gonna, like, she can't see it for herself because she's not at that point yet. The person has to see the result. Like a wealthy person can tell you how good money is, how you can attract it, how you can make it. But the broke person listening to you, it's like, I don't know what that feels like. I don't know what the hell you talking about. I don't even believe it because I don't see it myself. So a lot of these topics become sensitive because a lot of them feel like, hey, this is my personality. Being big is my personality. And you're going to take that away from me? I'm not having that. Or they feel like, why would I change? People should accept me as I am. But like I said before, like I said earlier, if she's not willing to accept the guy for the same reasons, then she's a hypocrite. Point blank, period. You can stay big if you want, but if you're not willing to take a big guy or a guy you may see as less attractive, then you're gonna stay alone because you're basically hoping a guy of that caliber to accept you. And unfortunately, there's a lot of guys who will do that, because they just, they may be down bad or they just like, hey, I'm on my last leg. I want this. It's like, we got to be real about certain things when it comes to these conversations. But I could see why she probably felt that way because it's like the lady was saying, she's been suppressing it. And then like being revealed on a podcast like that, it's like, it could be very emotional, She feel seen, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like damn, I'm being outed for something that I thought I was hiding well, but I wasn't. I wasn't hiding it. I was in plain sight. But it's okay because now that you recognize, now that people have told you what the problem is, you could try to fix it. But I get it though. It's like, I get the part that you should accept me regardless of what I look like. Because I could get my leg cut off. I could get in an accident. Something bad could happen to me where I may not be able to do none of that. And at that point, does that mean you're not going to accept me? That's what it feels like. When big people hear these conversations, that's what they think. They think, oh, so you don't accept me for who I am right now. You're going to accept me when I become someone else. And it's just kind of like a bitterness in there. It's kind of like a, what the hell? I mean, obviously these two chicks didn't have to worry about it, but like I said, they can only speak from that standpoint because they achieved that result. They dropped the weight. They saw the difference. She ain't seen none of that. So to her, it's like, what are you talking about? I don't even know what y'all talking about because she ain't experienced it. Or she don't believe that it's real for her. Maybe she always felt like, you know what? This is who I'm going to be forever. Maybe she was dead set on that in her mind. She's like, I'm going to just dress nice, do my keep up, makeup, whatever. But I feel like I'm probably going to be like this forever for the end of, till I leave the earth, And some people are like that. They're like, I ain't changing. I'm staying exactly the way I am. And that's fine. Just like I said, you have to have the same respect and compassion for the next individual that's similar to you.
Some things up in your life started working out and things went better for you.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you can't sit back and think that you're a 10. Because there's always
room for improvement. Always.
Exactly. There's always
Even
room
if you're
for
a
improvement.
perfect model.
There's always room for
And
improvement.
she thought I was coming at her. I was speaking, and it's the thing, right? Like,
being respectful.
when it comes to this, I was speaking to the queen in her. Like, all human beings, we got the fool in us, or the king or the queen in us. Like, the man, he has a fool in him, but he also has a king in him. And that woman should always speak to the king in him. A woman has a fool in her, but she also has a queen in her. Me speaking to the fool in her would have been, you just as good as you are. Those guys are the problem. But I spoke to the queen in her and I said, listen, you could do much better than where you are at now. You can rise up to another level. And that's one of the things, is increasing your beauty by going to the gym and losing some weight. So I'm speaking to the queen in her because I want her to be better. But the thing is, in this world, it's socially unacceptable for men to speak to the queen in a woman. If we speaking the truth to a woman, it's looked at, oh, you're being negative. You're speaking down on me. You're shaming me.
It's okay
and a bunch of other things, right? So it's crazy how she was speaking down on him, right?
Right.
And we ain't say nothing about it. We kind of let that
nothing.
go
I ain't say
until she got mad and was like, oh.
Until the energy was returned back to her, and then now she couldn't handle it. A lot of people are like that here. A lot of here, they support, they talk about anti-bullying. I see it all the time. How some folk can just talk crazy, say crazy stuff, but yet when the energy goes back to them, all of a sudden now it's like, oh, it's a problem.
Got their hands up.
So be like, oh, how could you say that? You know what I'm saying? If you can't, don't dish what you can't take back.
Okay, oh, you only choosing the white girls? And then we like, wait, you disqualify him because he's 5'8". What's going on with you, mama?
Exactly.
So
I don't even think she's ugly.
And she's not. She
She's
is a
older.
pretty chick.
Anyway,
So if you like that clip and you want to watch more, click right here. But if you want to watch the full,
Yeah.
I guess final thoughts. I think this is a sensitive topic, especially for women, especially when it comes to their weight, how women are feel about their weight and how society looks at them. But given what we saw in this video, if you want great things to happen, you have to be willing to make a change for better or for worse. And that's what goes anybody life, male or female. So if you want something better, you got to be willing to sacrifice for it and able to achieve the result that you want to get.
I second that. I think I've spoken enough on what I had to say, but yeah, just because somebody tells you that don't mean you got to go rush and go get it done right away. Take your time. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking my time figuring stuff out when it comes to certain things, because I feel like life tries to rush us to certain decisions and then we end up in some bad scenarios. So sometimes you got to just slow down, put the social media down, put the phone down, and just reevaluate things. And I do that. Me and him, we do that all the time. So we're always looking at, you don't always have to feel like just because you got the advice today, you got to go get it next week or the next 2 months or it's over. It's like, take about a year, take about a reasonable amount of time to really see what they're talking about, see the difference. And if you see the difference, cool. If you don't, hey, but at least you did it, and now you can gauge where you stand at, speaking from the perspective of the lady. But yeah, leave your comments down, guys. Let us know what you think, and give us any advice or give us any videos that you guys want us to react to as well, because that's what we basically do. Yeah.
All right, so we appreciate you guys for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. If you guys want to send any videos, you can send it to our email down in the link down in the description down below. And we see you guys in the next video.
Peace out.